And I asked them and I said, should we boycott Asian shops? Is that what we should do? And then every one of them said yes. Yes.
Welcome back to Cheverisimo, where I react to anything and everything on the internet. Let's get right to it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Today's video is, or the theme of today's video is having a victim mindset or victim mentality, right? So blaming others for the, I guess, the lack of achievement in your life. Let's get right into it.
A woman recently saying that we should boycott Asian businesses because she said that black people can't win when Asians own all of the businesses and that we had it easier coming to this country. As an Asian whose grandparents immigrated to this country and as a business owner, let me dissect this. Complete bullshit. Have you never heard of pea bashing before? Have you not heard about the 16-hour shifts that our grandparents did in the mills here up north? Those people worked endlessly. 12 hours, 16-hour shifts in mills, getting their hands all mangled up in machines just to get by, or working as toilet cleaners and just to survive. They didn't have it easier. They were disciplined and sacrificed everything. Just to make it clear, I want to bring communities together. I'm not here to divide communities. I just want to point out exactly how the Asian community built some wealth. And don't say we had it easier, because even in 2025, just in September, a Sikh woman was raped and told go back to her own country. Don't talk about easier when we get that kind of treatment in 2025. The reason why our grandparents did better is because they saved every measly penny they could get to invest it in long-term assets.
There you go, guys. So culture breeds your mentality, right? So certain cultures that you've seen, they excel when they go to the States, when they go to the West, like the Nigerians, for example, when they go to the UK or the US. For example, this guy's, they're called Asians in the UK, but he's Indian, right? So same thing with Indians. When they go to the UK or the US or Canada, they excel because they're willing to put more work in, they're willing to put more hours in compared to someone like this woman that he's referring to, who probably, you know, isn't working as hard, and in return she's not getting the results and the achievements that she wants, right? So she blames it on race, she blames it on other people, than just blaming herself, okay, as an individual for her lack of achievement in her life. Let's keep going.
Houses, gold, businesses, you call that privilege? They were patient and willing to live in the shit for the hope of a better future. Tell that to our ancestors who crammed into tiny houses, 5 different families, sharing food so that they could save up money to buy their own homes eventually. Instead of enjoying their lives, they lived in the shit just to get by. That's not easier. They paid the price for it. And they didn't buy nice clothes, they drove shit cars, they spent nothing. And then their children now own and inherit these homes, and then they can put them up as rent. And
there you go. See, so I think that, again, certain, nationalities and in countries of origin, their mentality is all about family, community, right? So they're willing to stay like a bunch of people in one house, right? Saving money, putting what they have together to invest in things, in businesses and that kind of thing, kind of what he's referring to. And then you have other cultures that are more, individualistic in their mindsets, right? Not wanting to, pool their money together with their cousins or their uncles or their aunts or their parents to buy certain things, or to maybe live below their means for some time, for a greater purpose, for longer term plans, right? So some people don't think that way, and that's why, again, they will blame others for their lack of achievements in their life, and that comes down to your decisions in life, right? That's all it comes down to, is your decisions.
Generate cash flow from it, giving the next generation a leg up essentially. And that's the way that wealth accumulation works. Each generation creates assets or purchases assets to then pass on to the next generation, so they have a little leg up, and then their kids benefit from that. Even now, I mean, I can afford where I live very comfortably, but my dad says to me all the time, Jamil, you should come home, come live at home, because that is their literal wealth building tactic. Stay home, live below your means, and save money. And let's get
Exactly, right? And the Western mentality is turn 18, you're on your own way, you're on your own path, right? So there's a huge divide in mentality, right? And long-term thinking. The reason, like you said, his father wanted him back is because he knows how expensive it is, right? All the expenses that you're gonna have to put out, instead of using that money to save it, maybe invest it, maybe create a business, right? That's the huge difference in thinking that certain cultures have over others. And again, again, in the West, when someone is a certain age, let's say they're 25 plus and they're living at home with their parents, or they're 30, whatever it is, right? They'll say that you're a loser or whatever. But if you have a plan, you're saving that money for, buying a house or to create a business, then who's the one laughing in the end, right? Like you have to think about the actions that you're taking and whether or not they are helping you or they're not helping you. So again, if you don't have that family support, it's understandable. But if you do, why not take it, right? While you can, so that you can support them and also support your future.
One thing straight, yeah, we run a lot of businesses, but don't blame us for taking the risk of starting them. Don't blame Asians for filling that spot for a corner shop. Anyone could have bought it. You could have started that business. Our ancestors pooled resources for the community together so that the community could win. Instead of hating online, why don't you speak to those Asian owners and learn how they did it instead? I don't come.
Again, you also see this too in New York City with all the bodegas, right? They used to be owned by the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans. Now they're all owned by Yemenis, right? And they all help each other out. They will pool money together and they'll buy these businesses. Again, that comes down to connections, family, culture, right? So this type of culture breeds business, owning businesses, entrepreneurship, that kind of thing. So again, you cannot blame people for that, right? I mean, if you want to do that, why don't you try that yourself too with the people that you know, right? So it comes down to again, it's your own decisions in life that dictate the reality that you live in.
From a rich family, and that's the exact reason I'm a business owner. I've got a biomedical science degree and I can work in a hospital, but I know that if I want my kids to have a better life, then I need to build some wealth, and I'm not going to do that sat working for other people. Me and my brother are the classic example of two people coming together, pooling resources and building a business and succeeding with it.
That's amazing.
And that's one thing that I actually miss about the older generation. Back in the 80s and 90s, Asians had a community like glue. They worked together. They weren't selfish. They built something so that their kids could live better lives. And I'm disappointed, honestly, because historically, colored people have always come together and had each other's backs. And we've always unified in the past. I mean, historically in the Caribbean, Indian migrants literally shared culture with the people who live there. That's literally where curry goat comes from. You need to take some accountability and learn about sacrifice.
Again, I see this all throughout the world, right? Certain ethnicities will go to a country and just start businesses. Like, look at the Chinese, for example, right? They'll go to any country and they'll start opening businesses up. Look at the Indians here, right? Look at, for example, people from Lebanon. They'll go to South America, open up businesses, right? Textile companies, that kind of thing. So it comes down to, again, your decisions, your connections, your family, your community. That's what it comes down to. And if you want that, you should do the same thing. Try to foster that in your own life, with your own family, with your own friendships and connections, if you want that. Don't just blame people and have that victim mentality and victim mindset. Let's keep going.
And stop blaming the world, essentially, because that's what our grandparents did. That's all they did to accumulate wealth. They were bashed in the streets and still sacrificed so that their children don't have to suffer the same way.
And I asked.
So this is the video right here that he's responding to, where this black woman basically saying that we should boycott, Indian or Asian shops and stores in the UK.
And I said, should we boycott Asian shops? Is that what we should do? And then every one of them said yes. Yes. Because how are black people supposed to mobilize if they're in our communities? It's not no Asian hating. It's about economics and why black people can't keep their black money within their community. So when you go to your corner shops and
I don't agree with her. I do not agree with her, because look, she's talking about it as a monolith. I don't really see it that way, because if you look at the Nigerians, right, they're also black, but they're very much connected. They are a community that is really business minded and they help each other out. I've seen this. I've seen this here in Canada. I've seen this in the US, in the UK. So you can't just say all black people should boycott, because there are many nationalities that are very much business minded. So you can't, I don't believe that. No.
the food stop that they sell, right? They sell our food. They go to the corner shops. They have chicken shops lined up in our thing. It's all going back in into their community. How is it coming back in?
And again, what's wrong with that? They are serving their community, right? So if they notice that's what the community wants, they will create those shops and open those shops up, right? Same thing goes for even like hair products for like black women, right? I've seen a lot of those places are owned actually by Vietnamese people and Indian people as well too, right? I remember this one time I met this one dude at my gym who was he was selling, I guess, wigs, right? He would get it from back home in Vietnam and he would sell it here, and he said it made him a ton of money. And clearly he doesn't use it, Vietnamese women don't use that, but again, he saw a niche, okay, a market where he could sell to, and he just made it. Why can't she do that, right? No one's stopping her if she wants to do that. Again, this is victim mindset, okay? This is a shitty way to think.
To us, we have to boycott them. We don't want to, but we have to boycott them to keep it within our community. Otherwise, how are we going to progress? Right? I can't do it on my own. I need black people to help me. And I also said as well, I said, black people, you need to take time with black businesses as well.
Yeah. What you need to do, it's not even about boycott the Asian shop. It's like, buy black. That's all your message is.
No,
buy black.
The reason why I disagree with that,
That's also, it's so weird to say, because you should always buy the most quality product that you're looking for, okay? The best service, the best quality of product, that's what it comes down to, okay? My previous video, I was talking about people hiring each other off of the basis of their country of origin, what language they speak. It should be about, can you do the best job at that company? It shouldn't be about the way you look. At the end of the day, that should never be factored in. Okay, of course you want to speak the same language and that kind of thing, but it should always be about your merit, what you can provide, not about the color of your skin. That's what I think.
No, go on.
The reason why I disagree with that is because when you say buy black, we still are about convenience until we get out of that mindset to strictly go and buy black. You have to give black people options. If I don't give them options, what they're going to do, they're going to fall back into the cycle. You have to get, and this is what I'm saying. Like when I said boycott the Asian shops, it's because they're literally in every single community.
But as you said,
again, going back to seeing other shops owned by Africans, I've seen Ghanaians, I've seen again Nigerians. Okay, I just thought of this right now when I was driving one day. I saw a few Ghanaian shops, African shops selling African origin products, like I think like creams and certain kind of like food products, that kind of thing. So there are people who create businesses and open businesses. Okay, this woman is speaking for everyone as if what she has to say is like the end all be all, right? So I don't agree with what she has to say.
The alternatives. So you can say, the only reason I'm saying, because I think getting tied up into a culture war also isn't helpful for us, because we just look like the aggressors or something.
No.
I'm not saying don't call it out. I think there's a conversation that I definitely think there's a conversation that needs to be had.
Well, guys, that's it for this video. What do you guys think? All right, do you agree with the first dude? Do you agree with what she has to say, or do you agree with what I have to say? Leave your comment in the comment box. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.